Good morning, my friends. Brian King here. I'm an ADHD success coach, an international presenter, and a #1 best-selling author. And today I want to address something that kind of came up with a conversation with one of my clients. She's an adult with ADHD, and she's routinely getting flack for bringing up the ADHD in some of those more awkward moments. And some of the feedback she gets is, quit making excuses, quit blaming the ADHD. Well, the reality is that we're not necessarily making excuses. We're offering an explanation as to why we may be a little quirky, as to why something may be more difficult for us. But one of the difficulties we run into, whether it be kids or adults, is that we'll throw out the ADHD as the issue, but many of us kind of resign ourselves to the fact that we have these glitches and don't necessarily take the next step to figure out what on earth to do about it. I have ADHD, therefore my memory stinks. I have ADHD, therefore I'm scattered, therefore I'm disorganized, or whatever. And it sounds like an excuse because there's really no conversation around how do we make this work anyway. And as you know, I'm very solution driven. I'm all about finding resources, finding new ways to do things. Because I don't know about you, but I don't settle. If I want a result, I'm not going to say, well, I have this disability or I have ADHD. Therefore, I'm just throwing up my arms and resigning myself to the fact that I can't. That's kind of where I draw the line. If you're using ADHD as a precursor to can't, then it's an excuse. If you use ADHD as a precursor to I have ADHD, therefore I need this, then you're talking solutions. And when it comes to figuring out just what approaches you have available to you to solve a problem or to develop a new strategy, I've boiled it down to 4 keywords that, for me, because my memory sucks, I usually don't remember these, but I write them down, okay? That's an example of I need. I have ADHD, therefore I need to make lists. I need reminders so that I can accomplish the same thing as maybe somebody with stellar recall, okay? So the 4 keywords that I use that explain the options you have available to give you what you need to be successful are these 4 words: accommodate, collaborate, delegate, or eliminate. Okay, and I'll give you examples of each one. And the order is key here because these are the order I want you to go through in problem solving. Okay, so you have a difficulty. In my case, my biggest challenge with my ADHD is my working memory, which is the ability to recall what I know and what I've learned in the past from previous experiences, and the ability to keep in mind the memory of how to do something while I'm doing it. Okay, so if somebody gave me directions, 3 steps, I would have to be able to remember the 3 steps while implementing the 3 steps. My memory is so sucky, I have a hard time doing that. So my accommodation is to have a written list in front of me. So I can look at the first step, then complete the first step, look at second, and so on. And many kids could benefit from this in the classroom. Many adults can benefit from this at work because they have a supervisor that says, I want you to do this, then this, and this, and this, and so on. And there are many of us that say, okay, boss, I'm on it. And 3 seconds later, what the heck did he want me to do again? And that's where an accommodation is really, really key. Another accommodation is a digital reminder, like Google Calendar, which I'm a big fan of because I can put every phone call I need to make, every task I need to complete. I can assign a certain time to it, and I can have it remind me. A little ding here or an email or something that points out to me, hey, Bri, you decided to prioritize this, remember? And this is the time you decided to prioritize it. Now is the time to do it. So those are accommodations. So accommodate is the first way you can problem solve. Second is collaborate. Is there somebody that really rocks at a complex task that you want to partner with this person in order to get it done. My organization, in terms of creating a plan for doing something, I have a real hard time with that because of my organization and prioritization deficits. My wife, however, is awesome at it. So I will often say to her, I need a more efficient way to complete a task. And her brain just goes to work. She says, you can start with this, you can start with that. So we'll sit down together and we will collaborate and come up with a workflow, a series of steps that I will then turn into a list that I can then use to keep myself organized. Okay? Now the next one is delegate. This would be if I just gave it to Kath and said, could you please come up with some kind of a workflow for me that I can use to do this task, where I wasn't involved. We didn't brainstorm together. I just gave it to her to do. That's delegation. Now, the last one is eliminate, which means, do I even have to do this? Is this something that really needs my attention? Case in point, my youngest son, Connor, is obsessed with Pokemon and all this other stuff. And in the morning, before his meds have kicked in, he will talk nonstop about Pokemon this, Pokemon that. And he just wants to talk, and he's just happy to have someone there to talk at. So I can eliminate this or I can eliminate having to remember this as a priority because he doesn't care whether I know about Pokemon. He just wants to tell me. Or if someone in your office is just going on and on about the miscellaneous details of their life because they love the sound of their own voice and you're really not invested in it, you can eliminate that as a priority as well. You can say things like, oh, well, it's interesting, sounds like fun, okay, hey, have a great day, out of your mind, because you don't need to worry about it. And the reason I'm offering these to you, many reasons, is because so many people that are scattered, they know there's a problem. They know they need a solution, but they have no idea where to begin. They just kind of trip all over themselves and get anxious and start beating themselves up for not knowing what to do. And I want you to make a note of these 4 specific strategy starters so that you will know what to do. So the next time you bump up against a problem because of one of your executive functioning gaps, you can ask yourself, could I use an accommodation here? Could I accommodate this to get the result that I want? Do I need to collaborate? Is there somebody I know that's really, really good at this that I can sit down with so we can make something work? Or do I simply need to delegate this? Is this something that is so difficult for me to do that if I tried to collaborate, I'd actually make it worse? So who is that person and how can I delegate to them? And then lastly, can I just eliminate it? Is it really something I need to concern myself with? You see all of this nonsense on social media or on the news where people are baiting you to care. This celebrity is dating this person, or this person got arrested for being a jerk again. What do you think? Chime in. Give us your thoughts. No, I don't have to have thoughts on this. I don't have to have opinions about what celebrity is doing because it has no impact on my life. I can eliminate that as something I care about. So please comment below. Let me know what about this has been helpful for you. If you want me to process with this, anything about this with you further, please message me. I'll be happy to help you find a way to implement this in your own life. And lastly, if you think this is valuable to other people, go ahead and share it so they can have some fun with it too. It's been a great chatting with you again. I'm Brian King, and we'll talk again soon.